Look, I came down here to apologize for how things went. All right. Turns out you didn't dent my car.
Of course I did it. And if I did, I'm not responsible. Who dented the car?
My daughter.
Hey! What did she hit?
Fire hydrant.
Hey! Let me get this straight. So you come in here and accuse me that all this time the criminal is in your own house. I should sue you for defamation of character.
Listen, I'm sorry you feel that way, man. That's why I'm here.
I don't want to hear it. You're like Sarah Palin, and I'm like Barack Obama. And your daughter, she's George Bush. Everything is her fault. Then who they blame? Me, the black man.
Man, it's like 4:45 in the morning. I had just woken up. I was having this dream. Let's finish this. Let's start with the ending. Just a moment ago, my eyes was heavy, and I was asking the lady of the house, like somebody's grandmother, if she liked to dance. You know, as far as, it's like I seen her walking towards the kitchen, and in my mind I can only, think, let me ask her to dance. Let me ask her to dance. And I didn't know if she understood English or not. And I'm looking at her. We're in the kitchen. It's dimly lit. It's like daytime outside, but there's no lamps in the house. In the kitchen, I can't smell anything. I can't feel anything temperature-wise. And she has on this white, it's not really white, but it's a worn white, I guess sundress. It looks like it's buttoned up from the front, and her hair is short and curly, sweaty. No, it's like a dry, sweaty type curly. And when I asked her if she wanted to dance, she still had her back turned towards me. And she was moving around the cabinet or kitchen sink. It's either cabinet or kitchen sink. Just kind of moving around, like just keeping herself idle, just not idle, but keeping herself busy. And she turns and she looks at me. She just turns her head, looks at me. She doesn't seem too afraid of me. And so, I'm holding up my hand, and she notices my hand, and, she still moves away from me, going towards the living room. And so, this house is like, you have a kitchen, nice small square kitchen, and you got a doorway that leads directly into the living room. There's a wall dividing the kitchen and the living room, and there's like a cutout, so you can see from the kitchen to the living room. And so she's walking in the living room, and I'm hearing this music that's like a soft horn. Yeah, a soft horn is playing. I just hear the music. I don't see a record player. And I'm still walking, behind her, wanting to dance with her. And she finally extends her hand out. And I remembered touching her hands, and they were soft, like, an elderly woman, soft hands. It wasn't hot, wasn't cold. And instead of, we dancing face to face, we're dancing with her back towards me. My left hand was on her hip, and my right hand still had her hand. And that's how I woke up. It seemed like I was having a tough time sleeping because, I woke up with my body being real tight, my legs being real tight, like if they was just squeezing, the muscles just squeezing. It's hard for me to lean forward because my back was tight. I think it was raining outside, like an hour or two ago. But before I ended up in this place here, it's kind of like I remember waking up and looking at my screen, my computer screen, and I was thinking like, man, okay, let me put something on to watch. But didn't make a move or nothing. I was still laid back, and as far as the tension in my body, it's like, it's like I didn't want to wake up. But before, that moment, I was outside, along with a lot of other people. I was listening to a video, kind of like, it was like a What Happened to Mace video. Let me see.
Him, but you're gonna cut your arm off to get free. Clearly.
It was like What Happened to Mace. And Mace being the rapper from Harlem. And in that dream, it was obviously, two cliques, two groups of people that I was with. Before I had woken up, we were all, not even gonna say we were all, but it was like 2 or 3 of us, standing by this purple purple burgundy car. It was cool as fuck. The fenders, what I'm saying? The fenders kind of butterflied open. It's like when you open the hood of the car, you could fold out the fenders. It's kind of like from the top, you reach up and then over to the left, and then opened up that left fender. You go over to the other side of the car, and you lift up to the right, pull up and fold the fender open to the right, and what I'm saying, and it's like the bumper area, it rolled. Like do you remember those old bread boxes? How you lift the bread box door open, it just rolled up. what I'm saying, kind of disappeared within the box. Well, that's how the bumper was, but it did it in reverse. Because you got to understand that when you open the trunk, you got the engine and all that, the engine block and all that stuff there. So as far as the grill goes, it's kind of like you pull the grill back and it rolled downwards, like under the front of the engine. And there was a lot of music playing, and everybody was, doing their dance and just playing around, little pushing and shoving here and there. And there was this female who approached the car, and she was trying to close the car up, and somebody was being playful with her. So she got one hand on the hood of the car, and then she'll let go and go swing at them with her left hand, and she take her right hand and reach up to pull the hood of the car down. And so she finally gets it all closed up, and she hops in the car, and she begins to I say peel out, but the traction from being on the dirt grass area that we were in, it was like a park. She wasn't peeling out and kicking up dust, but she, you can tell that she was peeling out. The back of the car was, the wheels were spinning and the car was turning to the left. Like if she had the steering wheel, like she cut the steering wheel to the right, and the front wheels is cut to the right. So the back of the car is the wheels are spinning and pulling the back of the car to the left, and it's like going in a little half circle. Not even a half circle, because the wheels were just spinning and it wasn't moving too much, but just enough. And the car was like a purple burgundy, tinted windows, chrome trim. The rims were like an aloe. They were like a grayish aloe. It wasn't shiny chrome. It was dull. And it was a smooth car. Now, if I could take it backwards from there, before we got to that part, it was like four of us was talking. We were sitting down and we was talking in this sitting area, and we was trying to piece together the events of how the problem had escalated. You know what I'm saying? There was like a beef, and there was a problem going on, and so we're in our own little conversation, and we happen to look up, and I'm like, well, fuck, where did everybody go? And for me to say that, with that beef that was going on between two groups, there was a lot of people. A lot of people in that sitting area. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, it's like we were sitting in one part of the area, and if you were sitting down and you happen to be looking forward, you know what I'm saying, you can see people that standing around about like 10, 20 feet in front of you. And then maybe another 10, 20 feet, there's another group of people. You know what I mean? Just everybody kind of standing around and, like pointing fingers at each other and you know what I'm saying, talking over each other and things like that. But we really couldn't understand or hear a lot of what they were saying because, you know, we were in our own little area, like I say, 10, 20, 30 feet from the main, you know what I'm saying, the main group of people. And while we were having our conversations, we didn't notice how quiet it got. But when we really paid attention to it, we were the only ones there. And so we jumped up and it was like, yo, so why is it that we the only ones still here? And that was the thing that got our attention. And, you know, we're like, yo, where'd everybody go? Where the fuck did everybody go, man? And the conversation was like, see, if anybody really did give a fuck, you know what I'm saying, they would have let us know that they was leaving, you know what I mean? Somebody would have said, yo, B, we about to bounce, you know what I'm saying? Or something like that. But no one said anything to us. And it was like, you know, 4, 5, 6, 7, or 8 of us all just kind of lost. Like, why didn't anybody just let us know that they were leaving? Because it was just like that. 1 minute they was there, and next minute they was gone. You know what I mean? And there wasn't nobody else in that area except for us. So it was a tripped out moment. And to rewind back into my dream further from that point, I remember before I went over and sat with those folks, I was trying to get around. I was trying to get between the speaker and the cords of this tent, like an outdoor recreational tent. There was like 2 of them. There was people, you know, that had some tables set out, and I don't know if they was trying to sell shit, but you know, it looked like a flea market as far as there was music tapes and t-shirts, like merch. You know, it's like somebody trying to sell somebody's merch. It looked like a little setup like that from the tent that I was closest to. But then there was another tent that, you know, folks happened to be in, as far as it looked like a tent where everybody was huddled up in to have this meeting or something. And it was the tent to be in if you really wanted to know what was going on. I could hear people talking and things like that, and you can hear them. It's like I could hear the person in the video or the people in the video talking as it was playing. It's like if I brought that into my dream. And my body was like physically heavy. You know what I mean? I could feel my arms kind of moving around. You know, like trying to get untangled from this cord. And trying to move, you know, away from this speaker. Now, if I can rewind my thoughts some more, I was in this house, and it was dark outside. The reason why I know it was dark outside is because I was going from a back bedroom into the kitchen, and right there was a door, a back door, and as I was making my way to the kitchen, that back door was open. I could feel a force pushing me into that door, and my body and I, you know what I'm saying, I'm not trying to go that direction, so I'm struggling to get into the kitchen. And it really feels like something's wrapped up around my shoulder and my waist, trying to drag me into that doorway, that emptiness, darkness. And I end up screaming out for my mother. And it didn't release the pull, not immediately, but it took a few seconds. And I was able to make my way into the kitchen. And when I was in the kitchen, I happened to look around and I didn't see nobody else there. I didn't see my mother there, and but I knew that I didn't want to go through that doorway. I could hear what sounded like rain. I could still hear this video playing. And so I'm trying to remember what had happened before then. Because it was like I was in a basement. And my body was real heavy. I couldn't feel my feet to try to wiggle my toes. I couldn't feel any of that, even though that's what I was trying to do. And I couldn't, like move my legs. But I could try to bend up and forward. I was laying on my back, so I could bend upwards and forward to stretch my back. But it really didn't help, because as far as the color went, it was that light on in the house. It wasn't very bright. And the house, it was lived in, had like a stale feel in the wind. It wasn't dusty, but you can tell if you really wanted to make it dusty, you could easily by moving fast. You know what I'm saying? Or quick. Moving quickly or moving around pretty quick. You probably stir up some dust like that. But I was standing on my own 2 feet, feeling muscular, feeling like if I wanted to bully somebody, I really could. But, I was questioning. I'm like, man, this is a weird dream. This is really weird. Why am I here, around these strange people? And I remember asking myself these questions, and I was like, man, you gotta write this down and make a video on it. Use as much detail as possible. And so with me feeling like, it felt like I was on water, like on a boat. My legs wasn't real sturdy. It kind of felt like I was swinging with the ocean current or a lake current. Me being in a boat, kind of going left to right. Like if the current was making the boat, like bob up and down and bob left and right. It's the kind of feeling I had. As far as waking up, I wasn't truly awake. I was awake enough to feel the need to want to go brush my teeth and, kind of stretch. But I noticed that my body wasn't making very much movement on its own. It was weird feeling. Very weird. I went and I asked some people that was in this park if they could tell whether or not, I was laying still or if I was laying seemingly trying to get some air flowing in my lungs. And so I closed my eyes and Try to meditate very slowly one more time. But it was kind of weird, man. You know, even though I could recognize that I was asleep, you know, trying to wake up out of it, you know, it just made my body real tense. You know, I don't know, I was just reminiscing over some pictures from that dream. And it just really makes me wonder how dreams work, because, you know, here it is, a whole group of people that I don't even know these people. You know what I mean? And each time I kind of opened up my eyes to wake up from the dream, you know, as soon as I closed my eyes again, you know, there's like another group of people. But, you know, we're all there doing some of the same shit. You know, I'm welcome there. They're not nervous of me, they're not scared of me. You know, it's like like walking out your front door and going to the park during the summertime. You know, it wasn't nothing to make me say, ooh, this is a bad dream. But yeah, that moment happened. And my memory on it is not bad. Yeah, it's kind of weird, man. Even then, it's kind of like I was dozing off, and then to jerk myself awake just to say something. It's like, oh shit, I forgot I was recording. You know what I mean? It's weird how dreams are. You know what I mean? And the way it looks inside of this water. You know, there's a lot of fluffy, sudsy shit in this water, and I know that these three men, they're like in charge of the area, so they have to keep it clean. So they'll have to be the ones to clean that bathroom. Yeah, dreams are a trip, especially in the middle of the night or the middle of the morning. You know, you feel awake until it's like you pull yourself out of a dream state, and you notice that, oh shit, I dozed off again, and wound up in a dream state, but there's nothing happening in a dream state. It's something else, man. I don't understand dreams, but if you do, and if I explained it correctly, you know, let me know what you're thinking and what you're feeling from, you know, like having a dream or being drowsy and feeling the effects of what your body does. It's something else. Anyway, I got quite a good dozed off again, so I'm gonna stop this video, and thanks for watching. Do you go through moments to where you're half asleep? You know what I mean? Your body feels good. It's just that you gotta blink a little extra, or you gotta shake your head a little bit more to wake up enough to be released into the general population. Because like right now, I see myself within a prison wall, but there's other prisoners outside, like my roommate type guy is laying in his bed, and I'm waking up, trying to get their attention. So it's weird. I'm gonna end up laying my head back down and trying to really just doze off, cause it's 4:19 in the evening. All right, peace.